What's up, captains? Today's video is going to be about overcoming gluttony. So, if you've seen my other videos, I have been struggling with gluttony for the past 2 months, ever since breaking my 18-day fast, where the Holy Spirit came upon me. I had all this clarity. I thought I was good. I thought I was in the clear. I was like, I never have to struggle again. I didn't actually think that, but subconsciously that was the thought. I was like, okay, I've partnered with God, things are good. I started getting these new cravings for sugar and overeating, which is something I had never struggled with. In fact, my whole life, ever since getting out of high school. So a little backstory: in high school, I was the skinny kid. I was 5'10" to 6 feet, depending on which year we're talking about. But senior year, I was 6 feet, 172, so pretty skinny. And I was tired of being skinny. I quit playing football junior year because I was too skinny. Really, it was because of my mindset. I was a little bitch. I was just tired of feeling like the scrawny kid. So after high school, I put on 30 pounds in 3 months. My mom thought I was on steroids. I wasn't. I was just eating a ton and just training heavy 2 times a day, going to CrossFit. And it was a struggle for me to put on weight. It always has been a struggle for me to put on weight. Because that requires eating a lot. And for me, it requires force feeding yourself to the point where you can barely put food in your mouth because you're so full. But that's what it takes, for me at least, to put on size. I just have to eat and eat and eat upwards of 5,000 calories a day at times. So I had never had a problem with overeating until recently. Like I said, these new cravings for sugar and even just overeating healthy foods and seeking to distract myself with food. And I just found myself doing that right before recording this video. And I was thinking what am I going to record a video about today? And then I was like, oh, why don't I record a video about gluttony? Because some other people in my sphere have been struggling with gluttony. And so here's what I have done to rid myself of gluttony. One, I've committed to this new diet, which I talked about in a previous video, which is only real food. So meaning it either grew from the ground, was alive at some point, or was produced by a living creature. If you have to mix ingredients together and then it comes out different than how nature intended it, that's processed. All right. So even though that's not necessarily bad, there can be good processed foods, right? Like sourdough bread, for example. There is no sourdough bread plant, right? But you mix all the ingredients together, it comes out of sourdough. A nice organic fermented sourdough bread is great. It talks about bread in the Bible. I don't have anything against bread. Now, of course, don't overdo it. And there is a season where you would want to minimize bread. But point being, there are some healthy processed foods that use only real food ingredients and, no added sugar, no artificial anything. So there is a time and a place for processed foods, which is why one of the contingencies that I have defined, so I'm not allowed to rationalize with myself, well, what about this and that? No, just shut down all rationalization. All right, that's how the devil creeps in and gets a hold of your mind. So my 2 contingencies for eating only real food are: once a week, if I am with people, I can consume processed food, and also if I make it myself, because the holidays are coming up and we're gonna want some sweet treats, right? But instead of eating my family's just, gluten-filled, high sugar content treats, I'm gonna be making my own treats to share with the family so I can get the family on board this health train. So those are the 2 contingencies for eating real food. Because what do we typically snack on? The processed stuff. We overeat on the chips and the ice cream and the cookies and the cakes and the croissants and all these, usually processed carbs and fats that contain added sugars and usually bad oils. Anyways, so that's one of the things that I'm implementing is this real food only diet, except for one day a week. If I'm with people, I can have some healthy processed food. Like yesterday was my one day this week. Went out to breakfast at the Fig Tree in Venice. They have some absolutely delicious buckwheat pancakes with some fried plantains on top and coconut. It's like whipped coconut cream. Oh, so good. So that was my my one processed food item for this week, but it's okay because we trained before that and I also stayed active all day. So I felt good about eating it. So that's one thing, is like change your diet. Follow a specific diet. I recommend following the one that I'm following, eating only real food. And other than that, surrender your appetite, your cravings, your temptations to the Lord. And not just once, but over and over and over again, daily. And especially when you are feeling the cravings or temptations. So that's actually what gave me the idea to start this video. Is I finished my dinner tonight and I was having the cravings to continue eating, and instead of allowing that thought loop to continue, one, I just shut it down immediately, because again, rationalization, when we allow ourselves to rationalize, that's how the devil starts to creep in. So just be ruthless with shutting down all rationalization and like what ifs, and even like toying with the thought, even allowing the thought to remain present. Just shut it down ruthlessly. All right. So I noticed myself doing that, ruthlessly shut down the thought. I actually, to be honest, I didn't ruthlessly shut it down. I was playing with it. I was toying with the thought. I was starting to let rationalization creep in, and I was like, do I really want to surrender this gluttony? Like, am I ready to let this go? Because it feels good to eat, right? In the moment. Afterwards, it doesn't feel good, but it feels good in the moment. Like, is this actually what I want? Do I actually want to surrender this? Because that's going to require like an absolute no for eating more food. And then I asked myself that question, and it's like, the part of me was like, no, you don't, you want to eat. And then the real part of me, my higher self, was like, yes, this is what you want. So I ruthlessly shut down the rationalization. And the next thing I did is got down to my knees, prayed to the Lord. Lord, I surrender my appetite to you. May I only hunger for what is righteous. May I only hunger for a deeper, more intimate relationship with you. May I only hunger for doing our Father's will. I surrender my cravings, my impulses, my temptations to you. I lay them at your feet. I nail gluttony to the cross, Lord. I command in the power of your name that the spirit of gluttony and giving into temptation no longer hold any power over my life. They have no authority to remain within me. And that's when I made this video, because I realized that is what it takes. Like, yes, following a specific diet is good, and that's our humanness, that's our self-reliance, trying to figure it out on our own, trying to accomplish it on our own, right? But God is calling us to surrender to him. So it's not saying like completely avoid the diet, right? That's not it. But God is calling us to partner with him, not just try to do it all ourselves. And believe me, I have tried for the past 2 months to like do it on my own, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You got to partner with God on this and on everything, really. And why wouldn't you partner with the creator of the universe, the worker of miracles, the God of suddenlies, where suddenly in an instant your complete life can change. He can deliver you from temptation, from indulging in whatever it is your sin of choice at the moment is. So surrendering to him in prayer when you are feeling the temptation. And this is going to require some discipline and self-control. It's going to require you asking that question, am I actually ready and willing to let go of this gluttony? Because that's going to require you foregoing the instant satisfaction of consuming whatever it is, and instead delaying that gratification to the future. It's living for tomorrow instead of right now. And this is what is required for success, like to have the body you want, to have the business you want, to have the life you want. I'm just checking my hair here because I just gave it a wash, so it's nice and fluffy. The mane is coming out. Anyways, anything else I want to say on gluttony? Yeah, the main thing is you've got to be actually willing to let go of it, because like when I knelt down and surrendered it to him in prayer, it went away. And I know that there's no way that after that I'm going to consume anything. So it's the complete foregoing, like not even allowing the thought in your mind, like, and if it does enter your mind, just completely shutting it off, not giving it a chance to take root and play these what if rationalization games. It's just immediate no, immediate shutdown. And that requires a readiness and a willingness on your part. If you're not actually ready and willing to give this up, then it's going to be impossible, because then when you go to pray, your full faith is not in the prayer, and prayers not in full faith are just speaking mumbo jumbo out into nothingness. You got to have faith behind your prayers, faith that God will answer them. So that's it for this video. Tips for gluttony: follow a real food diet. Give yourself a once a week contingency, like if you're with people or you make it yourself. And that's not like every day I'm gonna bake cake and cookies. Once a week you can make yourself a healthy treat with love, with real food ingredients. And then surrender everything else to the Lord if you are truly ready and willing. I love you. God bless.